Hi. So this vlog is starting very late because it's Monday, which is like almost 11 p.m. and I'm freaking beat because I'm so tired because I worked from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. so tired. But in this vlog I am going to read books from Swedish authors, and I've started my first book. So I'm reading Konferensen by Mats Strandberg, which is actually one of the few Swedish authors that I actually sort of ought to buy from, because I really do like his books, and I've met him a couple of times at the Gothenburg Book Fair, and it's really nice. So I'm currently working on this one, like 36 pages into it, because I started reading it on my break at work. This is basically about a ton of people that go sort of on this conference for work, and they go to this little hole, basically a little village, to like sleep in this little small cottages and stuff like that, and then people ends up dying and I'm trying to figure out why, when, and how. So I just started, so they're basically arriving at these cottages, so nothing much has happened, but yeah, just trying to get to know the characters at least. But yeah, I'm tired, so I think I'm gonna go to sleep. Hi, it's actually Wednesday now, October 12th, and I didn't update you guys because I don't really have much to update. But yeah, I just filmed a video because it was time. But yeah, I filmed a wrap up for September, so I have to put these books into the bookshelves, so I'm gonna do that now. I am still reading Konferensen. I haven't read much at all. I'm now on page 40. It's read like 4 pages yesterday. I did listen to audiobook though, so I did reach my goal of reading 30 pages a day. So for today I've read nothing because I did not listen to my audiobook this morning. Whoops. I'm interested so far because Mats Strandberg is really good at writing characters and like intrigues and stuff like that, and basically the people that are supposed to be on this conference just arrived there, and they've like divided who's gonna sleep in which cabin and who's gonna share the cabins and stuff like that. And that's basically all I know. We've gotten some information that, you know, 2 of the people working at the firm are 2 of the people working there are basically working together, trying to get a proposition in front of the boss about something. That's what I'm gonna say without spoiling. But yeah, I'm really intrigued, so I'm gonna try to read now for a little bit, and yeah. So I haven't updated you guys in a while. It's actually Sunday, October 16th now, and I was gonna update you yesterday because I haven't been reading a lot during the week, so I don't really want to just babble on about nothing. But now I have been reading in this, and like I said, I was supposed to update you yesterday, but I was going home to my mother and father-in-law yesterday, and we ended up leaving after a while because I got sick. So I ended up with a fever and I was like shivering like crazy, so we had to go home. I found out that I did have a fever, went to bed, and slept with like 5,000 blankets, and then woke up in the middle of the night sweating my ass off. And then in the morning the fever was gone, and I still have a heartburn though, but I have had that like the entire weekend, so that has nothing to do with any of it. But yeah, so the kids at work managed to get me again with the same crap they've had the last 2 weeks. So that was awesome. So today I've basically just been
trying to get my heartburn to go away with like medication and like thinking about what I eat and drink and what not to and everything like that. So I feel like I haven't done shit really, but I did take a walk now at like 8 p.m. to figure out if I am well enough to go back to work. So I think I am. Just the heartburn is better, but like not perfect, but usually takes a couple of days. But it's affecting my vocal cords already, so that's always awesome. But yeah, more about the book. So I'm really enjoying this one so far. A little bit more than halfway through. We've gotten to know the characters, we've gotten some backgrounds, we've gotten to know like what the conference is for, why are they there, and basically they're building this big shopping mall in the middle of like basically nowhere, and they had to buy out this sort of farmer because the farmer didn't actually own the land. He just sort of rented it, and to do that they had to do that to get the, you know, the place, the land to build on. And shit is going down the drain. There's so much drama, there's problems with this sort of mall that they were supposed to build, and they're supposed to be started building after this conference is over. And then they're doing like team building exercises and stuff like that, and people starts ending up dead, and that's no spoiler, but counting the people running the place, there was like 11 people there, and right now I think we're down to 5. So they start to drop off really quickly. It's really morbid so far, definitely a lot of descriptions. There's definitely a lot of characters that you do like, someone you feel for, some characters you don't like, but now it's the terror of trying to hide from the supposed killer that they do not know who it is yet. Oh, my heart was beating like 100 beats too much. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to continue on with this one. But yeah, Matt Strandberg is definitely the go-to guy when I want to read something spooky, which is not often, but I do pick up his books whenever he gets a new one out there because they're always so ridiculously good. Don't really know if it's out in English yet, but I hope it does come out soon because he's really good at that. Almost 11 p.m. now, so technically I should be going to bed if I'm going to work tomorrow, but I just want to read some, probably not the best book to read right before going to bed though, because I'm in the middle of a bloodbath, but I don't care. We need sleep anyway, right? I was just about to go to bed, but I got company. Hi, gorgeous. What you doing? What you doing? Hi. You're so long. Bye, baby. It's Monday. It's the 17th of October. Still have a heartburn, so I don't really have much of a voice. So I sound like a teenager in puberty. Anyways, I just wanted to talk to you about this book, Confidence, because I feel fucked over. This was so, like, I love the characters, the good ones, God, my voice, the good ones, the ones that were supposed to be, like, bad, you hated them, for real. He definitely is good at writing characters and getting you to feel for them in the way he wants you to feel. And it's just a lot of descriptions, you get to find out about the background, their stories and stuff like that, but he doesn't give you all the details at once. Like, you have to wait for it, beg for it, and you have to freaking want it before you get it, and you just get bits and pieces every once in a while, making you up the puzzle. And like, it was just so well done, and like the environment and everything like that was so well done as well. You could see everything in front of you, which makes all the blood and gore that much worse, because you could definitely see that in your head too, because it was very descriptive. I really enjoyed this one. I mean, he is one of my audible authors, so I know I would probably like it, even though it's not a genre that I generally do read. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was very dark. I read it till very late last night. I didn't even have any nightmares. I'm surprised, but that might be because I slept for like 1 hour last night because I couldn't sleep because of my heartburn. So that's awesome. It's always nice to sleep sitting up. Anyways, I think I'm gonna give this 5 out of 5 stars. Can't wait to see what he writes next. It was a freaking ride. But also, I did call it on who was the killer. Did call it, but I still enjoyed it. And now we have my next Swedish read. Oh right, I forgot to tell you guys that I'm also listening to an audiobook called Jag kommer sen. I'll insert the picture because I can't remember the author's name right now. And I started listening to this last week, and this is basically a biography about this big fire. It was basically, you know, like a nightclub or whatnot in Gothenburg, in Sweden, in the 90s, and there's like 63 teenagers that ended up dying, and a lot more actually getting out in time, but it was like 400 people at this party, and there was a fire, and all hell broke loose. So, like, everybody knows about this fire. Like, I wasn't even born there, but I know about it, and it was a really big deal. And yeah, I was listening to about this girl called Johanna and her best friend Gilda, and there were 2 of the girls that died in the fire. And we get to know more about Johanna and like her life and background and everything like that, and how her relatives are trying to move on and stuff like that. And right now I'm like halfway through. We're starting to find out more, like, was it intentional fire? Was there some kind of mishap? What's going on? We're finding out about that, and it's been a very, very intense audiobook. Like, there's so many feelings, and sometimes you feel kind of overwhelmed when you get to read about what they're seeing and what's happening and what they're feeling and shit like that. But yeah, really good audiobook so far. But I think my next physical read, which I'll at least attempt to start, because she's like 20 past 10 p.m. But I do get to sleep in before work tomorrow. But this is Grimm by Sara Bernhardt Elfgren. She's my other author. She's actually friends with Mats Strandberg. And I've actually met them both several times. And they're really nice people. I want to say this is a prequel. I don't know. It takes place in the same world as her last book, Norra Latin, did. Basically, this takes place in an amusement park called Gröna Lund, which is in Stockholm. And basically, there's Casper start working in the sort of amusement park, the ghosts and stuff, like in the, what do you call it, the haunted house, I guess. And there meets Iris, who teaches him how to scare people. 30 years earlier than that, we get to meet 16-year-old Håkan, who gets to know Grimm, and they like eat, live, breathe music, death metal, and they start this band together. But then Grimm ends up dying, and Håkan like pulls the plug on the band, like quits. And then we get to follow Casper, who is Håkan's son, and they're trying to figure out what happened to Grimm, why did he die and stuff like that. And he takes help with his friend Iris to figure out what happened. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading this one. I mean, usually a quick read to read in Swedish, so we'll see. So I feel like I'm gonna be really sucky at like updating you guys, so figured it was time. It's currently Saturday, it's like October 22nd, and I don't think I told you that I finished my audiobook Jag kommer sen, which was about the fire. And I mean, definitely got me teary-eyed a couple of times. I felt like the book was really like long though, because we get to know a lot of stuff about the mother, like after, for like you follow until like 10 years after the fire. So I mean, not as interested in her life, but I guess you get to find out about like how she moved on and stuff like that. But yeah, it was a very heartfelt reading. Like I said, made me tear up a little bit, and just to know that stuff like that happened just because someone was not admitted into this sort of party for free, and that's why they put everything on fire, and that's just disturbing as hell. And yeah, that was basically like what I had heard before picking up the book, that someone was mad for not getting let in. So basically I knew why already, but yeah, it was a very powerful read. But yeah, I ended up giving that like 4 stars, I think. And I have not been recording any videos because, as you can hear on my voice, my vocal cords are still fucked up from my freaking heartburn. That was like the longest one ever. So like, I don't know, because I can't like talk very much, can't like sing for the kids at work either, which they found very weird. And yeah, mostly trying to be quiet to make them like get better. But yeah, I just wanted to update you guys, and I'm still reading Grimm. I've read a little bit this morning, not much. I've read basically nothing for the last few days, like 15 pages a day or something. But I'm page 82, and I mean, not a lot has happened, but we've gotten to know the main character, Casper. He started to work on the amusement park, Gröna Lund, and he started working in the House of Demons, which is like the horror house, what you're gonna call it. And yeah, he's got some friends there and everything like that. And then we have some like flashbacks to his father, Håkan, who was in part of this band, and how we just found out how he met the guy Grimm, that was the one actually dying and ended up being the end of the band. And yeah, that's basically where we're at. So really found the flashbacks like fascinating. Sometimes I don't like the having books with flashbacks and like going back and forth, because I feel like it's like very jumpy, but I don't really mind it in this book, and I do enjoy the characters so far. But like I said, I'm only 82 pages in, so we'll see how it goes. But generally I really like Sara Bergmark Elfgren's writing, so yeah, hopefully it will be a good one. But yeah, talk to you guys later with some updates, hopefully. So it's actually Sunday now. It's almost 6 p.m. And I've been reading like a crazy person because I really want to finish this book today. But yeah, I'm Grimm. I have a bit left. I think I have like 108 pages left or something like that. Kind of obsessed, honestly. So far we got to know Casper, the main character, a little bit better, about his work at the amusement park and, you know, in the haunted house trying to scare people. We also get to know a lot of his dad, who was in this band with Grimm in the 80s, and how everything went down, like when they met Grimm, the whole band, and what happened around with them, and when they recorded their EP, and like now we're starting to try to figure out. Casper is sort of interviewing his dad's bandmates from that time, from Dark Cruelty, which is the band that they played in with Grimm before he died, and Casper is trying to figure out what happened with Grimm, why did he die, what led up to his death and everything like that. So he's interviewing old bandmates, and it's really interesting and really captivating, and I just want to know what's going to happen. And I definitely feel like his dad has some secrets he doesn't want to like tell. I feel like they all do, honestly. But yeah, it's a really quick read, and I'm so intrigued, and I just want to know what's gonna happen. And I really like the flashbacks, actually. which I'm usually not a very big like flashback kind of person, but right now the flashbacks is the most interesting part. But yeah, a little bit more than 100 pages left. I feel like maybe possibly I could finish it today. That's definitely my goal, but I do have to do some editing. I was actually out walking with the cat, which you saw in the previous clip, in the forest, and I brought my phone and like my book review notes and everything. I wrote a freaking review. It took forever since I was doing it on my phone, and then I went on the same review but on my computer when I got home, trying to edit the thing, and then everything like erased, and I tried to like undo it and it didn't freaking work. Not like the key command nor on like actual like thing you click with your mouse, and it didn't freaking work. So I had to rewrite the entire review again, and I'm pissed and I'm so annoyed, and I'm just thankful for the fact that I have the exact notes that I wrote from still there. But that's so fucking annoying, and now I have to edit today's video because it's I'm falling behind, people. So I'm gonna do I think it's the September wrap up because it's so much time to do that, and then I have like my October book haul, and then this vlog, which I have not started editing, which I really should have, because I usually like edit vlogs as I go along so that I won't have like too much material and won't be confused about dates and shit, so I have to look it all up. But I haven't done that, so I'm behind. But yeah, I'm gonna try to edit the September wrap up because it's way beyond, you know, time, because it's the 23rd right now, and maybe read some reviews if I have time, and then going back to reading. So yeah. Hi. Here comes a wrap up of these 2 weeks reading vlog. A little bit late because it's like a week afterwards, but who's counting? Yeah, let's start wrapping it up. So the first book I read was Konferensen by Mats Strandberg, and I really loved it. It was gory, it was bloody, it was disgusting, and yet very well done. So I ended up giving this 5 out of 5 stars. And then I think I told you that I finished the Kommer Sen by Eva Wiklund, and this was about the fire at the like party, and it was like definitely made me teary-eyed. It was really hard to listen to, especially since you find out that it's like completely freaking foolish young adults that started the fire because they didn't want to pay for the Swedish crowns, which is freaking nothing. Like, come on, seriously, 63 people died because of that. But yeah, it was very well done and it was really interesting, and like I said, made me tear up. So I ended up giving it, I think, 4 out of 5 stars. And then the last book that you saw me reading was Grimm by Sara Bergmark Elfgren. I ended up finishing this on Sunday, like I was trying to do. So I ended up reading like 319 pages of this on Sunday. So that was basically all I did Sunday, because that took me like hours and hours and hours. But yeah, this was like really dark and mysterious, but really like well thought out. And the characters was really interesting, and I really did enjoy the flashbacks, which is something I most often don't really enjoy that much, but I really enjoyed the flashbacks, and those are like my favorite parts. And just the connecting with the then and the now, it was just so well done, and I really enjoyed it. So I ended up giving this 5 out of 5 stars. So we read some really amazing books. I will summarize how many pages right here. And yeah, I ended up finishing 3 books, which is a lot better than in my current reading log. But yeah.